Delicious definition, make them boys go loco.
Welcome to another episode. My name is Dean Vass. You can find me on X at hashtag Kangas, Instagram hashtag Kangaroos Podcast. That is Claire laughing in the background there with my intro. Fergalicious indeed. And I am back with Claire and Jacinta. And girls, just another routine win for this amazing team and amazing group. Nothing to see here except just another undefeated season and a relative comfortable premiership for these girls. Jacinta, I'm going to start with you this week. You seemed like you were a little nervous Thursday. How did you go all day Saturday? And did you get to the ground nice and early? And more importantly, take the bus up to watch it?
First of all, I did park at the zoo. I did do that, but I walked. I did walk. Dean was right. Anyone listening who was following along, Dean was right. It is only like a 5-minute walk. So that was a good call because we did do a lap around the streets and there was nothing, and that was like about 6. So I'd hate to think what time everyone else got there because anyway, so I got there about 6:30, sat my friend down, and then I did a Claire and just did laps. I just lapped. But yeah, no, just I guess it's another routine win, but with a bigger celebration at the end of it, and then a little bit more club history to it. So yeah, I was okay. I think I was a little bit nervous on Saturday, but I was a lot more nervous going into that Melbourne game. I don't know. I just felt like we would take Brisbane. I thought maybe they'd get within 3 or 4, but I thought Melbourne were always going to be the bigger threat. So I'm glad that we had a pretty stress-free grand final, really, in the end. I mean, I know Brisbane brought it for a quarter, maybe a bit of the third, and then that was it. It was pretty relaxed. We could really take it in and celebrate. So it was a good night, it really was.
It definitely was. I'd like to see that game start a little bit earlier, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
instead of waiting until 7. I think 7:45 is just a little bit too late. Claire, I'm going to go to you. Now, how were your nerves during the day? And 7:45, like if you've got a young family, you've got to pretty much as soon as the game's over, you've got to leave. It'd be nice just to stay back a bit because by the time the game finishes, the premiership with Dean is all done, and the players are celebrating. It's like 10:30 at night, and it's just a little bit late. I'd like to see it a little, like an hour earlier would be perfect.
Yeah, kick it off at 7. Like we'll do the
even 7. Yeah.
Even if you do the sort of all the traditional sort of things, the anthem, all that sort of stuff at 6:45, and then throw the pill up at 7. I think is a very reasonable time slot, given daylight savings and things like that, but. Yeah, pretty excruciating. I woke up at 6:30 on the day, so I had a lot of time to kill. But I do now traditional things like I do my Jenna Bruton Tess Craven run. So I did that. I did a Jazzy Garner walk. I did a 25-minute nice walk. I've got very suspicious, as you guys know, very little suspicious things that I do. Unfortunately, incredibly jealous of you guys who got to go and attend the game, but I'm with my family still actually up at Bright at the moment for our early family Christmas. So it was me and my dad watching. Actually, it was my whole family, and it was really nice because they got around Dad and I. They're not very footy people, and it was really nice to celebrate with them because they were really positive, and really excited for me throughout the day. So when the ball finally did get bounced and I could enjoy it, they were all getting around the North girls, which was good. But yeah, I am like, I guess the difference was like last year, there was that anxiety and we still had it, but it was only, it was going down to the last quarter and Brisbane could have thrown something at us. Whereas I imagine this year for you guys, it would have felt pretty good at 3/4 time and you could have really absorbed the win in a kind of a different way from last year. So, a lot of relief. I'm kind of like Croc as well. I think the 27 in a row, imagine letting that slip and imagine not winning the grand final. So definitely a wave of relief washing over me. But yeah, for the past, most of this day, I've been able to watch all the stories online, all social media, and shoot some texts off to the girls. And I'm just so proud of them. Like it couldn't happen. It legitimately couldn't happen to a better group of people. They're such wonderful people. They've got such wonderful talent and they've committed so much to this wonderful program. So I'm delighted. I'm so happy for our club and I'm so happy for all the supporters and the people that got to watch it last night because it's a part of our Australian sporting history now. Like this is Hall of Fame sort of stuff. So Yeah, how did you go, Dean? How was your grand final lead up?
It was good. I did a fair bit of housework in the morning, and then lunchtime I sort of just chilled and started reading a book. It's called Entitled. And it's about Prince Andrew. Yes, and then I started getting really angry at the world and at him in particular because that guy should be in jail. There's no doubt about that. And if that guy didn't, if that guy didn't make this, if he made shit up, then he'd get sued and all that sort of thing. So there's a fair bit of truth to it, and that guy definitely deserves to be in jail for what he has done and what he's put people through. But that's a different subject. So I started getting a bit angry. Then I started
rogue grand final preparation.
But and then I stopped reading that, and I thought, then pretty much before you knew it, started heading off about 5:36, and I was feeling confident all the way through. Even when they got the first goal, I was feeling pretty confident. But we'll get straight into the game. And I thought the Lions controlled a lot of the territory and kicked the first goal of the game. Not sure what happened to get that goal, but it doesn't matter. We'll move on from that. They started brightly, but their territory didn't amount to much. And our defence really stood firm for 3 quarters, didn't they, Jacinta? A great team effort there.
Yeah, that first quarter, it was all Carney, Birch and Sheeran in the middle there. I think Brisbane were kind of hacking it. You know what? They kind of reminded me a little bit of how we played against Melbourne last week.
I did think that on
forward. Yeah, did you think the same thing? And it was just kicking it to defenders. And they were, between Birch, Carney, Ferguson, even Shannon had a few good marks in there. They just couldn't get through, even when they did have all the momentum in it. Starcevic must have been pulling his hair out because they did have a lot of the play. That first quarter, they probably should have had a couple goals at least. And then that third quarter, they dominated again and they just couldn't hit the scoreboard. I think the second quarter, because I was just caught the replay again a couple of hours ago, I didn't realize that North's pressure ended up at 268 at one point in that second quarter. That's just insane. I just don't think any team could have coped with that. And I know Brisbane's was pretty high as well, it was like a 240, but still, I think if Brisbane had hit us with a 270 pressure, even we would have struggled. So, that was really huge just to keep that ball in. But I honestly think that Brisbane did actually come to play. I think tactically they were maybe a little bit off the pace, but in terms of effort and desire, they had it. It was just they just couldn't get through that wall. That that defense is just so good. And Craven down there, that kick in the last quarter to find Gat from the kick out was crazy stuff. And they were doing that all day. Like O'Shea had a couple like that. Sheeran obviously was just so good all the way through. So there's not much to say. The defense just kept on defending the way they've done the past like 2 or 3 years. Just brick walls back there. And then I actually found it interesting. I don't know who it was on the coverage that said, they're the best defense in the comp. And it's like, but no one in the All-Australian squad. It might be. Was it Kate McCarthy? I don't know who it was. Whoever it was, but that set me off my head. And then, anyway, I guess that's the downside of watching replays. You actually have to listen to these people. So, but otherwise, defense just kept
cutting it a bit there, Jacinta, but that's all good. I think I got the majority of that. Lions, for all their hard work, undid it all with either stupid 50 or 100-metre penalties or really bad turnovers, and you can't afford to get away with that. Maybe playing Gold Coast you can, but when you play against the best team in the comp and the best team ever, you will get burnt, won't you, Claire?
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, I do feel for Campbell because I've watched her career closely and I really do enjoy how she's gone about it. She's a pioneer of the game and, she is a good leader. But unfortunately, that 100-metre penalty, I think, was such a huge turning point because I think North had absorbed, and it felt like potentially like Brisbane were getting some territory and they were getting some like amount of repeat stoppages, and that brain fade just cost them it was such a zap. Like you could even see them kind of drop their head at the response to that. And I just don't know what she was thinking. I also think, I mean, it's a huge thing because the umpire put away the whistle. because there was some interesting. I mean, Carney copped quite a bit. She got tackled and then got nearly her head taken off. Like, people were clotheslining each other. There was a ferociousness about how each team was going for that contested ball, because I think that was Brisbane's strategy. They like it in and tight. They like to get close up. They like hunting, I guess, in that aspect. So that was a tactical strategy by Starcevic. But yeah, it all came pretty undone, unraveled when they just gave away stupid free kicks, and it was unnecessary by Campbell to just even shove Sheila and then to just get in the protected zone. There was also another one where Dakota was in the protected zone that didn't get given as well, so that was like a benefit of the doubt. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You can do all the prep work, you can look at all of the strategies in the world, but if you can't remain disciplined, then you lose the game, and you lose the mental game as well. And as soon as Sheila put that through, there was that sort of clapping in their face and that sort of, real jeering. And I think, I know it was only 2 goals at the time, but given what they'd thrown at us, I think the mental barrier went up. I think the reminder that they hadn't been us, the reminder that we were going to keep on coming and attacking, it was just, I do feel for someone like Campbell, because I do genuinely think she's a great player of the game, but yeah, it's terrible. It's like we said off air, it's probably one of the dumbest things we've seen, in the top 10 dumbest things we've possibly seen on the football field. And given the stakes, it being a grand final, you just can't afford to do that sort of stuff. It's not smart. But that being said, you got to take advantage of it, and good teams do. Good teams put you away, and that was North. They knew how to ride it. They knew how to take it. And yeah, I think they also did smart things, like when they got pushed and shoved, even Tripodi, and I think Bruton copped a 50-metre because Allinger was being an idiot. Like, there was that understanding of like, okay, well that's the line. We're not going to push it now. We're going to take advantage of what we've been given. Whereas Brisbane were never being able to take advantage of, situations like that. So it's a testament to one side being mentally stronger than the other, I guess. So yeah, huge in the context of the game, that 100-metre penalty, big changing point, I would have thought.
Oh, I think it was. And I think we got the next 2 goals pretty quickly after that as well. And when you're 22 points down, you played a pretty good half of football. You felt like, with territory, and you played a majority of that game in the forward half, and you're 22 points down. It's a long way back, especially when you've only kicked 1 goal in the first goal of the game. So, yeah, I think it really did, because I felt like they were really on top. It was 1-2-8 to 2 goals, and then we got a get-out mark from Sheila. And I don't know what that was about, why she had to retaliate. I don't think Sheila did anything wrong. She was just lying on the ground, decided I'm just going to push her, and then not get out of the protected space when she was running back for the 50-metre penalty. Just get out of the way. Look, it was just a stupid play. Look, great, thinking by Sheila. She obviously used her experience there and got a big advantage. And yeah, I mean, in fairness to Sheila, she's had a lot of rough deals this year with umpires. I felt, and it was good to get one back for her. So that was really good. And Jacinta, Billie Eilish Sheeran, and a lot of talk about her coming across, and we won't go too much into that. She was best on ground, and she won the medal. 28 touches, 2 goals, 8 clearances, 11 tackles. Big bodies were built for finals football, and she was huge in the contest, especially early, where she kicked our first goal with a fend-off and snap. Getting her back for finals has been a big win for the club and has had a huge impact in the last couple of weeks, especially last week in the prelim, where the game was in the balance. She played a big game in that midfield, and a stroke of genius by Darren Crocker once again to put her in the midfield.
Yeah, look, 28 touches and a couple goals is not a bad stat line for a grand final performance, especially it's only a second final. Did she play final at Richmond? I don't know if she played that year that they made it, but yeah. Anyway, even if it wasn't a second, it might have been a third or fourth. So she was unreal. I know that first goal was maybe a little bit lucky because Randall was probably holding the ball, but
that was the biggest holding the ball ever. That was such a bad. That was such a
Oh yeah.
And watching it on TV was really interesting because, like, I turned to Dad. I was like, "Wow, we're gonna get hit by the karma bus here because that was definitely a free." But you know what? You got to smoke them when you got them, is what I say.
Oh, that's right. That's right. She still had to finish it. She still had to fend it off. Like, it wasn't a sitter after that. So, and then, Garner had to get the nice feed to her. So, yeah, paid dividends. And then she actually looks huge on the field. Like, she just looked like, I know Garner's like a bigger body, but she looked really, really menacing, to be honest. Especially there was one centre bounce when she was lined up against Hodder, I think it was. And I thought, this is just ridiculous. She's looks like a ruck on a forward pocket. It was insane. But yeah, she just bulldozed her way through. There was one time where it was like she just stripped the ball on the half back line and then just took it away. It was just, she was unreal. And I think there was parts of that game where it was really just a territory battle. And I think she recognized that really well. So she was getting the ball and just booting it. And then we would be able to make a contest down the field. So I think the ability to, I guess, like that match day situation awareness was really, really strong. I think some players, I think Brisbane probably did a little bit. They take it from the pack and then try and hit, like, pinpoint a target, and just did not work. But Sheeran really knew the play, kicked those couple goals. Yeah, I would have picked her as well for best on. And I mean, Claire picked her a week ago. So well done, Claire gave the 3 votes 7 days ago. That's huge.
Mate, she was looking to tear in. I remember watching a video. This is niche, but I remember watching a video of her just doing a warm up, her and Mia King, and they were just like playing with the footy on one of those bounce back, like, not a trampoline, but you're just handballing it and you get a rebound nets. And North put it up, and she was just like ferocious going at that. And it was like, 4 weeks out. I think it would have been like, I don't know, the Hawks game or something like that. But she just looked like she was ready to, like, let it rip. And I just thought, yeah, bigger body, huge utility, backing herself in, and she's just excited to play as well. Like, I think also there's something to be said about playing in your first grand final. Like, don't get me wrong, obviously, like, it's a novelty, but, like, a lot of them have played like 23, 24, and this was her first one. So I'm like, she's just going to go for it. And she's got, like, the beast mentality with a bigger body to kind of go, and like, I guess, like, an older mindset as well. But yeah, she was incredible. It's like her 2 clutch goals, considering that, like, I'm not going to call any goal a junk goal. That's not fair. But, like, as in the clutch goal to, like, open our account mixed with, I think we were 24 at the time. So our 5th goal that she kicked as well, that was an important part of the game. I just think her timeliness also added to the fact that she was best on. Like, don't get me wrong, like, Jenna Bruton's 3 goals, like, chef's kiss. And obviously Garner, Riddell, incredible. But I feel like Sheeran's presence when the game was somewhat in the balance, she had the biggest impact on the grounds. But yeah, she was so good to watch, man. She was just elite to watch. But sorry, Jacinta, I took over your question, and I apologize for that.
No, I had finished them. You continued on.
No, all good. Well, I actually thought Jacinta Ash Riddell might have pipped her in the end. 38 touches, 7 clearances, 7 intercepts as well. Sometimes these judges can go by, how many stats did a person have? She broke the record from last year's grand final where Jasmine Garner had 35. And sometimes they just go a bit short-sighted. Oh, she had 38 touches. She was huge in a big week for her little pocket rocket, wasn't she?
Yeah, I think she was obviously huge. I would have put her second.
She was second, according to votes.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, I would have put her second and maybe Garner third. But I think Sheeran and those couple goals, they just made all the difference. And I think Riddell was a little bit quieter in the first quarter compared to Sheeran. So I think all the damage was done, I guess. And then Riddell had that. Was it a big third or second? I think it was the second quarter where she had 12 or
I think she had 13 in the third quarter or something like that.
So in the third quarter, was it? Yeah. So I think, she obviously lifted as we continued to lift. So, but I think they did make the right call with Sheeran. I think it would have been easy for them to go the obvious and go Garner, Riddell. No one can argue with either of these two. Like, just look at their stat line, look at their past history. But yeah, Sheeran was the way to go. I think Claire was right. I think she is built for finals by the looks of it. And she's also one of those ones, I find this in the men's as well, that I take a while to get like attached to players that we've picked up from other clubs. Usually takes a season. Birch took me to maybe finals last year, and then I was like, okay, I'm right on. And yes, Sheeran has earned her way into my heart too now. So we'll see. We'll see who we get next year and who earns the trust back. Well, I guess earns the trust in general for us now.
We'll probably. Oh, look, it's going to be interesting, the off-season. We might talk about that at the end, but I don't think we have to change too much as far as personnel goes. But there might be one player that might come across. What do you think, Claire? Were you like Ash Riddell, 38 touches, but I guess you won the best and fairest award on Monday.
Yeah.
So she didn't really have to win a Norm Smith medal on top of it, I guess.
I mean, look, it would have been nice, like the triple of like a premiership and Norm Smith and a best and fairest, not bad. But I think she's exact same. Like Sheeran said after the game in the presser and in our interview, she said it was, nice to have the award, but the bigger reward is winning a premiership with the program. And I think Riddell would have been the same. I think any player that would have won it would have felt exactly the same. But I think for me, it's the group effort. Like it's just, and I know it's so cliche, but it's just like, know your role, play your role. Like, that whole mantra is like, be reliable. You don't have to be remarkable. And I think that goes from like all the way to Tess Craven running the ball out and her work rate, from Taylor Gatt, Erica O'Shea. I really liked, it actually kind of made me a bit emotional when Emma King took that clunk in the first quarter, because I think, I have no doubt on her mind, and Croc would have gone to her and said, look, we're backing you in and we're going with the selection. But I think maybe she would have thought her head's up for the chopping block, and her clunking that big mark and setting up your girl Bella Eddy, Justina, and kicking that clutch goal. I just thought she's going to feel good for the rest of the game now, knowing that she's contributed in such a impactful way for her team. So they're so well oiled. They're so well drilled, whether it's Libby going back and taking an intercept or Ferg doing one-on work with like Dakota. And again, your girl absolutely washed her. That's 2 grand finals in a row that Dakota's gone to absolute, interesting word there. But like she's sort of melted in the bright lights. But yeah, I just think that you could pick out so many, like Jenna Bruton kicks 3 in a grand final and like plays such an impact role. Like surely that's up for Boats as well. But because they played such a team system, they all stand out, or none of them stand out. But I think Sheeran's 28 and the 2 goals. It was the way that she also would burst from the stoppage with speed. Like she just took the ball in her hands and just said, see you later. Like there were almost aspects of her that was sort of Dustin Martin-like in the fact that she just burnt people off and fended off.
Breaks the tackles and
she was so strong. Like you said just now, she was matching up to very Dawes, Ali Anderson and Hodder are not tall. A, they're not tall, and B, they're not exactly the biggest bodies in the league. So you're looking at sort of the middle centre bounce. You're like, okay, you got Rennie, and like, who's the second ruck? And you're like, oh no, it's Sheeran. Like, she's in there as well. So, very well-rounded performance. The defence don't get the flowers that they deserve, which I think they should, but I think, it's great for Eilish. And it's funny, Justina, that, it's taken a bit for you to warm up with Sheeran, whereas I was a little bit like that with Libby, but from Sheeran, I was just all in because I think, she was all in. She just looked like the type of person who's like, I want to commit to getting myself better as a footballer, and I know North Melbourne is the place to go. So I think it was, really big kudos to the club of what they've done. But what about you, Dean? Do you think there was a best on that stood out for you?
I think Eilish, certainly Billie Eilish, Sheeran certainly deserved it. But I just thought that Riddell, they might just give it to the Riddell, the bigger name. That's what generally happens when they do those sorts of awards. But I'm glad they did recognise Sheeran for her impact, just particularly in the contest. Like we talked about, she was so strong, because it was quite a physical game. And particularly early, it was quite hot, and she was just able to break tackles. Like that goal she kicked, I know it should have been a free kick, but the fend off and just to snap it under pressure, it was huge, and she was huge last week as well. So very happy for her. Now, you mentioned the defence, Claire, so I'll go to Jacinta here. The inside 50 count was 33-16 at one point. I can't remember a team doing that to us for a long time. Generally, it's the opposite way around. But Libby Birch, Emma Carney, Erica O'Shea, Kate Sheila for periods, Eliza Shannon, and, of course, Jazz Ferguson, who might be still celebrating in her North gear right now. I think she's got the best on in the after party by the looks of it. But they did all right, even though, like you said, Jacinta, none of them can get an All-Australian blazer.
Yeah, they held strong. There was no getting past them. I thought there was also a couple of times where Brisbane were completely out, and then you think, oh no, and like especially like when you're at the game, actually even when you watch on TV, you're really just looking at the ball carrier, and then you think, oh no, we're in trouble. But as soon as they kick it, there's Birch, Carney, Ferguson all down there. Like there's just no getting through. They were unreal. I think there was a couple, like I think O'Shea she's had a really big season and a really big final series. I think she was maybe a little bit quieter, but again, she worked herself into it. She had some really good marks there as well. Craven obviously was in and out of there. She worked really, really hard. And then there was some players like Amy Smith was down there a little bit. I think she probably got a little bit beaten by Conway at some points, but by the second, third quarter, she'd worked her way in. I think her last quarter was really, really big from Amy Smith. There's not really much else you can say about them. I know no one else talks about them, but I feel like we've talked a fair bit about that underrated, somehow two-time premiership, winning defense is somehow underrated. But what have we got down there? We've got two of them are in that that golden 8 they've played in all 27. Is it just Ferguson and Birch down there? I know there's 8.
Yeah, there's 8 players. Yeah, we got Rennie.
Rennie Riddell, Craven, Tripodi, I think Jazz, Ferguson,
Amy
Birch.
Smith.
Yeah, I think that's
Randall.
Yeah,
was it Randall?
Randall. Yeah, Randall.
Oh, yeah, it might have been Randall too.
Yeah, Randall's got to be there.
I think that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Oh, that's roughly it. So maybe we missed out on one. But
so it's probably Birch and Ferguson. Like that's pretty solid to have two players that have played in 27 wins in a row together. That is quite a lifetime bond, I think, that they've got down there. But there's just no stopping them. I think Brisbane definitely torched a few opportunities. Like there was that one where they ended up, who even was that? Was it Dawes? I think Dawes kicked straight to Riddell. And they had, I think it was Conway who was open.
Yeah, open out.
Saw that, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So they torched a few opportunities. But again, that says a lot about the defense. They're just, I know there's a lot said about, not guarding space and guarding a player. But when they guard space, they really guard the right space, I guess is the best way to put it. But, again, Dean, your girl Ferguson had some really, really big moments. I'm sure you obviously noticed them and you took note and watched the replays.
Yeah, well, last quarter when they threw everything at the kitchen sink, she just does an intercept mark early in the last quarter, and you can sort of tell that was it. We cannot kick 4 goals past this girl even by herself, even if she's back there. So, and she did a couple of nice 50-50 contests, but there'll be plenty more times where I'll talk about Ferg during probably the next 5 years.
I was going to say, you don't need an excuse to bring up Jasmine Ferguson. That is, that's how people do hard quiz on ABC and they've got a specific area.
Yeah, that would be my topic.
yeah. Just stats on Ferg. I love it.
Yeah, it's probably borderline getting a bit obsessive compulsive, but no, look, it's all a bit of fun. Now we talked about team defence, and that was the reason we won this game. Claire, the system and the process is what carries this program and makes them so good. The other teams, I feel like the other teams seem light years away right now compared to where we are.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I think one of the things that we didn't mention, and she's probably my top of the pops good story of yesterday, last night's grand final, Eliza Shannon getting her premiership medal. I kind of broke down and was just in tears because to me, she's worked her guts out. She's a really good story of the fact that going through the VFL system, getting neglected, getting knocked back, then obviously, making her way for Carney, rightly so, but making her way for Carney in the 2024 grand final. And then to come in, play all that games, and then to win a grand final, to me is just one of the best stories that came out of last night. And it's a testament to her character and the character of the people that they also recruit as a part of the program. So I don't know if you guys have seen it yet. I put on my Instagram story, but there's a really good video going around. I think it's on Triple M, and it's of the premiership team getting a photo with the cup. But then Eliza Shannon kind of steps away. Yeah, and she grabs, Alice Slocum. She grabs Ariana Hetherington, AGM. She grabs Mia King, Brejnahan, and it's this whole idea in that photo. Oh, I love it so much because it does. It takes a whole squad. It takes everyone buying into the system. It takes everyone going through the process, even if it's something like, the severe rehab that Isla Sheeran did to get herself out there. And if you got some time watching the presser with Crocker, she goes into detail of how diligent she was. And I think that's an entire squad as well. Like that's what gets you a grand final. It's every one of those girls contributing to that. And I think it's everyone buying into the program. And I think that's the really good thing about North is they talk about the widerness of the effect of North Melbourne. They talk about the fact that it's just not the playing group. It's the strength and conditioning coach. It's the dietitian. It's the boot stutter. Like it's everyone from top to bottom who contribute in such a positive way in order for them to be successful. So, yeah, I mean, Crocker trusted the process. He believed in the system, and it's won us 27 in a row and back-to-back flags. And realistically, with Mia King coming back in, with Brejnahan coming back in next season, Tess Boyd as well, it's only going to get better. You look at that list and you think, wow. But another really good moment for me, and I guess North Melbourne supporters in terms of trusting the system as well, is watching Sarah Wright and her being in all the winning circles and high-fiving everyone and getting around it as well. And yeah, it doesn't take a genius to figure out it's a very special club. It's a very special program, and to be a part of it is such a privilege. And we as supporters are privileged to watch it. So we're really in a golden era of this club, and I'm just so happy that I exist in the same timeline as Jazz Garner, really.
She's definitely going to she's made a few entries into my gratitude journal, Jasmine Garner. So as another Jasmine at the club. So yeah, I've talked about the other one enough. Now, Jacinta, I respect the Lions men's and women's program in what they've achieved. Been very successful over a number of years now. But the supporters have gone into complete meltdown on socials. They are acting like sport little kids, right? Almost feeling like they are entitled and they need to beat the dominant team of the competition. I don't know if you noticed, but they're absolutely sucking it up.
Wow, honestly, because obviously I didn't get home till about midnight. I just had a quick flick of the socials, and then today I had my cousin's engagement, and then I spent my free couple of hours watching the replay. I've saved all the social media scrolling for tomorrow morning. I'm on a standby shift, a 4 a.m. standby shift, so I'm going to sit there and scroll through. So I haven't seen any of the sooking up. I can imagine one certain account would have really had a good time with it.
I don't know about him. I've blocked him, but he's.
Oh yeah, no, that would drive me insane. But the way they've carried on all year, I can't even imagine how bad it must be now. Are they talking rating the club and whatever else they're saying that we need?
No, there's one person that was talking about Emma Carney.
I saw that.
About because she sledged. What was it, Dakota Davidson for having a shot from 150 metres out.
So she should.
Yeah, which is just this harmless sledging, and their supporters started going at it, and Carney, I think, said something back to them, and so she's decided to have a go. But and there's a couple others that just sort of whinging about the free kicks and so forth. But that's how it goes. Claire, I guess they didn't deserve to lose by 40 points, but you don't take your chances, give away either stupid free kicks or stupid turnovers, and that's what you get. And Starcevic looked deflated at the end of the game. It's almost a sense with that came the fact that we can't go with his team anymore, and it feels like their time is over almost.
Yeah, I definitely think it's personnel. I think they've got some some decent players. Like there's no doubt, but
yeah.
I think they'd benefit. I mean, realistically, like pound for pound, in terms of changing up who was in their premiership, who was played in their 24 grand final and their 20 grand final, I didn't see a lot of difference. Not even just in the players that they selected, like Anessa Dooley, who came in, but they weren't impactful players. They desperately need someone to help Ellie Anderson out in that midfield. There's no doubt in my mind that she would benefit from another inside mid. Like Hodder's great on the outside, but if you can't get it to her, she's null and void. Dawes is. I've got a lot of words, but I'm gonna choose
to say the least.
just interesting. Look, tried to drag her team over the line. It was a different way to try and do it, I guess. But they desperately need. If I was Starcevic, all I'd be thinking about after that game is recruitment and what are they going to do in the next, I think, 9 months to now try and switch it up. Because we said it last week. I think these are actually the second best team in the AFLW.
They were this year, yeah.
100%. They were this year. And I think it's because they've got really good players like Hall, Hanks, Paxman, their backline, Heath, Gillard, Taylor Harris stood up. Obviously, I mean, Eden Zanker's off to Freo or Perth. So it's kind of funny. I mean, we're nearly a week away from Zanker making fun of Libby, and Libby now has 4 flags. So, I think Starcevic needs to do a lot of work in recruitment, because I don't think it's going to be we got to get fitter or we got to get faster or we've got to change our game strategy. I think it comes from the type of players that he has on that list, and I just think they don't match to North. I think, if I was Starcevic, I'd be. I don't know. It's how the ball also comes into the forward 50, admittedly, and the pressure that our North midfield put on them. But the forwards did not stand up at all in the heat of the moment, and their mids got outplayed. And I think it's just the fact that the sheer volume of ball that was coming in to North 50, like I don't think anyone in that backline particularly played badly. I just think that when you're on a roll, you're on a roll. And when Jazzy Garner's finding Jenna in a nice little pocket of space, like they defended fairly well. And you're right. Like, did they deserve a 40-point shellacking in the end? Probably not. But North are just too dominant. Starcevic, I think what he needs to do in the off season is definitely look at recruitment, who he wants to bring across, and because that's 2 grand finals in a row where you lose by 30 and 40 points. It's not good. So hopefully, I mean, and I think for argument's sake, for the betterment of AFLW, I actually think it would be good if we did have more competition, because realistically, Melbourne are the only team that really took it up to us this year. The rest it's sort of just been a cakewalk. So, I'll be fascinated to see what he does in the off season. But that being said, North might recruit as well. So who knows if we get even better.
There's potential there to get better. So and that's up to like Emma Carney said, it's up to the rest of the competition to get up to our level, not for us to drop down to theirs. So, which is good. Now, getting back to the game, Jacinta, and when did you think it was over?
That's actually really hard, because I didn't feel stressed really at all. I know Brisbane peppered in that second and third quarter, but it was probably Jenna's second goal. I was like, oh, now we're definitely on. Like, we're over the line now. But I don't know. I even think that Sheila goal was nearly like, okay. I think if they're giving away 100 meters, they're done. Like, they're just going to be cooked after that. So I think that was probably the one. And there was also that time I didn't see at the game, but watching the replay when Sheeran kicked her second goal and she's lining up for the centre bounce and she's just having a joke with that Brisbane player. I don't know who it was. But what's that Brisbane player doing, having a laugh? I don't know.
Oh, my God.
Do you know who it was? Who was it?
I don't know who it was, but if it had been roles reversed, I would have flipped it.
That's what I was thinking. I was really like, that's insane to me. Like, the game, they could have still won, but they were having a laugh, and then I I guess this is reflection, like watching the replay. I'm like, oh yeah, they were done. They were definitely done. We broke them. We definitely broke them. I think it was a Sheila goal where I really just thought, okay, I think we're going to be pretty comfortable now. Even if we win by a few points, I think we've got it. So, what did you think, Dean? When were you on the beers?
Oh, that's pretty much when you look. I kind of knew probably third quarter, halfway through, especially when Randall kicked the first goal. I thought that's too hard for him to come back. I was thinking probably then, but even at last quarter, like I was thinking a lot of things would have to go right and we'd have to completely melt down. But when you turn the ball over to Jasmine Garner from 40
Oh my God,
out,
I was the same. Yeah.
and there was no, I don't know who she was looking at because there was no Brisbane player there within 20 metres of that kick. So it was a strange decision. But yeah, I was happy. And as soon as that went in, as soon as she got the ball, I knew where it was going. It was going straight through the middle, like she always does. So yeah, I kind of knew then. What about you, Claire? When did you think it was over?
Yeah, mentally it was over when Sheila got the 100-meter penalty, but actually spiritually, yeah, as soon as Jazz went back and kicked that, because you could tell that Brisbane were trying to do something different and they were trying to play quickly and they were up against the clock. And yeah, as soon as she kind of grabbed it and stepped through, I was like, game over. High-fived my dad, gave him a hug, and I was like, we've just gone back to back. It felt like that moment felt like when in 24 we got that one over the top and Jenna Bruton hits out, I think, is it Vicky Wall lace out, or she hits out someone and she goes that was the same level of relief / jubilation of yeah, we've won. We've absolutely won this game. So I mean, Jenna's 3 goals were crazy because the one where she kind of stepped around and she got it through, I was like, oh yeah, that's a really decent goal. But the other 2 she kicked, I was like, mate, why is anyone touching this on the line? They kind of snuck through as well. So according to all my friends who were there, the hot potato was going off in the crowd, which is really, really cool. But yeah, I'd say Jazz's turnover goal, I think, just erupted. That would have been insane to watch. Yeah, just incredibly happy that we get to exist when Jasmine Garner is playing football for our football club. And it's pretty cool that she's the skipper of a premiership now. I know it's a small little detail, but that goes on forever into the history books as well. Carney and Jazz, and maybe Riddell, probably the greatest that will play for North, maybe. I don't know. We asterisk that because obviously there's a lot more to go, but yeah, it was really special when Jazz kicked that goal. I just feel like everyone turned around and was like, yeah, we know it's over. So yeah, what I would have given to be at the ground. Did you guys feel because for me 24 was crazy because it was inaugural, it was our first. What did it feel like what was the difference between 24 and 25 for you guys?
I reckon the energy was a lot less nervous. I'll say that. I think I feel like there was still a lot of in that last quarter last year, there was still a lot of people saying, do you think we have it? Although they were saying how long left? We had people around us all checking the KO. So yeah, obviously on last night nobody was bothering. No one bothered with that.
Yeah.
I think it was just more relaxed, to be honest with you. I think that's all I can say. That's all the only way I can compare it. What do you reckon, Dean?
Yeah, it was almost a sense of confidence with the crowd. We're up and about. It was definitely a home ground advantage. I felt I think it was 12,700 for grand, which is how that sells out. 12. That stadium can hold a lot more than that.
Yeah, I agree.
15,000. So yeah, to only have 12,700 as a sellout. Seems a bit low, but it would have been 10,000 North supporters there, and they were very loud from the first bounce. And it felt like we were very confident that we're going to win. And yeah, the Brisbane, I don't know about you, Jacinta, but it looked like almost as soon as they went out on the ground, they looked like they were just happy to be there. It felt like their men's program won it, the women are in it. It doesn't really matter if they win or lose. I just felt like that.
They took the $1 million and ran, hey?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, they won the men's program, so they're just like, whatever happens. We'll see. But they're pretty much like the team. They were. It almost felt like even the players was just hoping for the best rather than having confidence that they could beat us. And that pretty much shows with the scoreboard and the previous times we've played them. We'll talk about some under the radar players, and we have mentioned her a few times already. But Jenna Bruton kicking 3 goals. This is your girl, Jacinta, especially that set shot in the second quarter, which was huge in the context of the game. I know we got that 100-metre penalty with Kate Shearlaw, but straight after that, Jenna Bruton has a shot from 40 metres out, testing her distance, and she puts it straight through the middle. I think she's had a very undervalued year playing as a high half forward on the wing occasions when we've had injuries. Just another unsung hero, Jacinta.
Yeah, she's another one of those players where any other team, she's their first or second midfielder. So the role that she plays is huge. I mean, after her first goal, I was ready to get down on one knee. Honestly, I was front row. I think, I was in that pocket, and I lost my mind after that. I think, she has I don't know, those 3 goals she kicked, they were a bit Nick Larkey style in that they just
get over the line.
Yeah, straight as anything, but just over the line. So, I backed her. I mean, you obviously back her, but yeah, I think she also had a few touches in the middle that were just so clean. Like, she's just so good with the footy. And I mean, you can see, you've seen it for the past however long it is, 6-7 years. Her and Garner have a really special connection on the field. They find each other really easily. I mean, even Riddell and Garner also have that same very, very elite niche connection. So, there's just not really much I can say about Bruton. I just love her so much. She's my favorite. She was my first badge. I just love her. Every time she's near the ball, my voice is, it's gone. It's honestly gone. I was even talking to my cousin about her, and then he's a stats man. He looks up the stats and he says, she averages 12 touches. What do you mean? I said, oh, do you want me just to clip up? Like, those 12 touches that she does average, every one of them is just pinpoint. So but she's even another one that I think she might have spent a season or maybe half a season off that half back line a few years ago when we weren't crazy good, obviously. But she's another one that could go and replace Carney off that half back if we ever needed her to. So she's that good old Sheeran utility that can do it all, no matter where, no matter what time.
Actually, I forgot to mention that I watched during the day. I watched the 2018 Grand Final of Bulldogs versus the Brisbane Lions. Just one of those mini replays. Yeah, Jenna Bruton was playing. Emma Carney was playing midfield, getting tagged. Game. Talia Randall played in the ruck that game. So
you're just watching North again.
Yeah, Libby Birch, very young Libby Birch. She played well too.
What was Kim Rennie in that? Kim Rennie would have been played for Western Bulldogs that game.
I don't think she was playing. I can't remember seeing her.
I thought she won a flag with Western Bulldogs in 2018.
Oh, maybe she did. I don't know. I'll have to look that up. I didn't even notice her. A very young Mon Conti as well. Claire.
Oh, wow. Yeah, of course.
Oh, I forgot about that.
With braces as well. So.
Oh, wow. That's a throwback.
She kicked an important goal in the third quarter too, Mon Conti. So
nice.
She's come a few places. Now let's talk about Libby Birch, Claire, and she's turned her career around at this club. I didn't think she had a great last season at Melbourne. Last season she was there, but 14 possessions, 8 intercepts, anything long that came in, she was there in the contest. She's fast becoming a fan favourite because when she was at Melbourne, I can't say I was a big fan of her, Claire.
Yeah, Bold flags Birch for a reason. We love Libby. I also love, I was talking to my friend about her because we were talking about just the evolution of Libby Birch and how she's been able to do it and what she's been able to do to reinvent herself and things like that. We were talking about how she was able to get her book into the presentation. And
nice.
She's just,
nice
she was able
plug.
to do it. Yeah, she's doing little plugs. She's won her 4th flag. I think, again, it's a testament to North and how they embrace all different types of characters as well. Like, everyone's a little bit different. Everyone brings something. Talia Randall and Libby Birch. Garner's a bit more quiet and introverted. Like, it's a program that definitely accepts and embraces everyone's differences and sees them as positives and things that they can contribute to the wider group. And I guess that's Libby as well, right? Like she knows her stuff. I agree. She probably wasn't having her best season at Melbourne. But 4 flags, I mean, you'd be even lucky that like some AFLW players are just happy to play 4 games and get a touch and a run. But to think that she's played 4 flags is just like insane to me. I think, yeah, it's a testament to her character. I think also the thing that I love about Libby is she's an incredibly hard worker. I think she comes from a netball background. She joined Darebin Falcons in 2017 and won a flag with them. But then I don't necessarily, I mean, now she's obviously a four-time premiership winning player, but I don't think the art of football came very naturally to her. It's just her incredible work rate and work ethic to consistently get better at each time and really ask for feedback and want to improve and want to be the best teammate in that backline as well. And I think, you know, I don't want to say she's underrated because how can you be underrated in when you won 4 flags? But I was thinking about that comment that you said, who went underrated, and I think the person that just jumps out quickly that I want to talk about is Vicky Wall. I think Vicky Wall had a really good grand final in terms of the physical pressure she was able to bring into that game. Her tackling, her chasing, her running. She was just incredible. And I think, again, can go forward and can go back and really apply. Did some really long boots and got some territory game as well. And so I think she has my vote for one of the most underrated players that contributed to our grand final. She was incredible. So, yeah, what a pleasure to watch and what a pleasure to have her on our team.
I was actually just about to transition into Vicky Wall too, Claire, for Jacinta. I mean, the stats don't say much. I think it was only 7-8 touches, but 8 tackles and bro crunching as well. But I don't think there would be any scarier sight if you've got the football than seeing her coming at you when you have the ball, would there, Jacinta? I mean, she is a very, very strong woman. And every time she tackles someone, they don't want to get up off the ground. They're in a world of hurt.
Yeah, she's definitely one where I think you would recognize her footsteps and you're just dropping the ball. Surely you're just dropping the ball. Anyone who doesn't is a brave soldier because they're a lot braver than me, obviously. But I think Vicky Wall had a game like that where the stats don't show how good she was. I also think Alice O'Loughlin had a game like that where she was just pressuring and terrorizing the opposition. It was just, it's unreal to watch. I think Vicky Wall also plays that role of, I don't watch a lot of NFL, but she plays that like kicker role, like the old Savoca type role that he played for when he was in the NFL, where they just handball it off to her and she boots it. And it's almost like she's, that's right. She's just trying to like through ball it down to Bogue and Randall and whoever else is running inside 50. But to be fair to Brisbane though, they didn't let many get out the back, which is why I think Bogue wasn't her usual self. So they definitely worked that one out. But yeah, Vicky Wall, I thought she was unreal. I think O'Loughlin, unreal, obviously, with her pressure. I also think Bella Eddy was really, really, she looked dangerous. And also I think it might have been you, Claire, last week that was saying that Bella Eddy's like an underrated leader that you wouldn't probably pick. But yeah, you definitely saw it on the weekend. She was bossing that forward line around when she gathered Bogue and O'Loughlin and Wall together and just, I guess, told them what's what. So, I definitely saw it on the weekend that she's got those leadership skills. But, yeah, again, back to Vicky Wall, another one where my cousin would look at the stats and think, what are you talking about? But, she was a gun. She was a gun again. That's her second really big grand final in a row. So, so she didn't play the first one against Brisbane. So, so hopefully she's got a few more in her, a few more bone-crunching tackles to show on grand final night.
No, we'll certainly hope so. Yeah, she was a big difference last year and this year. That was a good mention there, Claire, as well. She's definitely a very undervalued player in a team, just plays a role to perfection. Eliza Shannon, and you mentioned her earlier, Claire, and how much a premiership means for someone like that. She's out of contract now, but you'd have to think that she'll sign on for another year. Missed out last year, of course, but such a hard worker, courageous. leaves nothing out on the field. I know we joke about her and some of her decision making out on the field, but if you want someone next to you in a dark alley, I think she'll be right there with you, Claire.
Yeah, I think she's really universally adored by the group as well. Like the profound respect that I think the group has for her is telling. I mean, I love it when good things happen to good people, and she just seems like a really good person. And her story is one of inspiration, I think, to young women who want to play football, and maybe doors are shut on them, or maybe they think that it's not going to happen, but it just takes time. It takes time and resilience and persistence. And I think there was an article that I read that she sort of hasn't sunk in yet, and it's a bit surreal. It's kind of like a movie, and I guess in the next couple of weeks all the players will really get to absorb this. But I think what's really special about her is that she's been on the outside of it, in the sense that, she watched the 24 grand final from the sidelines, felt a part of it, but not. And this year she could get to really enjoy it by contributing on the field. And therefore there's that level of empathy, I imagine, that she's able to extend, like players like Mia King and Brejnahan and AGM and Ariana Hetherington and all that. So there's that kind of bridge of understanding between them as well. So yeah, I just love it. I loved watching. I think I've watched that video like 50 times of her just getting all the players in together. And I think it's Libby Birch put up an Instagram story using that specific photo. And I think it's I can't tell them what to do, but I think that's the one the girl should upload, because it takes so many to get this right. And it takes all in, buy-in, everyone, hands-on approach. And yeah, it's so good to see Eliza Shannon get it. I mean, someone joked on Twitter that she'd get dropped, and I was ready to get a Glock and come to their house. I was just like absolutely not. Like,
No,
I mean, people it's grand final week. People are saying, oh yeah, nah, Sheila should be dropped, or Eliza Shannon. They're just tossing around names like like they were trying to get Mia King in the team, and respectfully, like I understand why, but hard conversation, and it paid off dividends. Ultimately, I think backing in the team that got you there, and unfortunately, Mia is stiff, but she can always aim for 26, and she always has 24 in the back pocket. Whereas for Eliza Shannon, I think that would be a watershed moment of her life, the 25 grand final, and like I said, it couldn't happen to a better person. So very, very happy and proud for her.
No, definitely. I'm glad she wears the number 11 because obviously you recognise that number with the men's program, Glenn Archer. It is the shin bone of the century, and he's a shin boner type of player. Just like her, she's a shin boner type of player. Not the most skilled or most talented out on the football field, but she gives everything she has, and she leaves nothing out there. And that's the type of players that we love, the blue collar types. And definitely glad that Hawthorn gave her away to us for nothing a couple of years ago. Also, we have to mention a side note here, but just a lazy 26 touches, a ceiling goal, 2 goal assists, a team high 6 score involvements. Not a bad game from the skipper, Jacinta.
Not bad at all, really. As clutch as ever. That goal assist to Jenna was a stunner. Her goal was obviously a stunner. We were talking off air about what we think the crowd reacted to most, like which goal. I reckon it was the Jazzy Garner goal, but I have a friend who reckons it was the Sheeran goal. So I just think the crowd lifts when Jazz is near the ball. I mean, I definitely do. I'm sure the team does, and I think the way that she celebrated her goal, I think you really like, because she's usually pretty calm and collected after kicking goal, but she let out a bit of a celebration. So I think that also was just like really locked in, like, okay, now this flag is really going to be ours. If Jazzy's celebrating, who doesn't celebrate much, but I would have put her in my votes. I probably would have put her third, because she had some really, really clean clutch moments, as she usually does. But there's not much else you can say about her, is there? I mean, I think having the leadership component was, obviously she's been leading for years, but to have the title and then to see her up on stage and accepting the medals, and I think it was huge. And then after the game, when they were doing their walk around, she was only wearing the one medal as usual. I know last year she kind of had the best on ground on sometimes off, but I didn't see her have the captain medal on at all last night. So I think that says a lot as well, because really it is, they've all got the same medal at the end of the day. I mean, yeah, you've got a captaincy medal as well, but you're still just a premiership player, and she really is just, she's just one of them. But despite being, the greatest of all time, she is still just one of them. It's just, yeah, she's just a beautiful thing to watch.
Yeah, it definitely is. And she, always, any chance she gets, she always gives a shout out to her brother Kane, who's a big support for her, and Jenna as well. So yeah, we had a lot of 100 game players this year, and the recognition they got, and I was glad, that we did a real good tribute for her when she did have her 100 games. But always club and people first, and that's one of the greatest characteristics you can have as a person, but she definitely has that in abundance. Now, Claire, if you're going to turn the ball over, maybe don't turn it over to the GOAT 40 metres out in front of goal. I think that's good life advice.
Yeah, I think that's a good mantra. I think you could put that put that on a car bumper sticker. Don't turn it over to the GOAT. Pretty uplifting though, wasn't it? That's when I lost it. That's when I was like, and yeah, like you said, Jacinta, when she celebrated, who's quite a reserved, introverted character, you were like, yeah, we are so on here. And like, probably fitting that she got to have that one, like strolling in, that would have been really nice for her, and a really good feeling. I think it's crazy. And I know we'll look back on history, but I just feel so lucky that we get to watch her, because she is such a generational talent. Like I we had Phillips, we had Pearce in the early days, whereas with all due respect, I look at someone like Jazz, and in terms of her skill level, her ball awareness, her composure, she's just like the ultimate player. She's literally the hybrid of all the best components that you could have in a player. So yeah, I mean, the only thing she doesn't have at the moment is obviously a best and fairest from the AFLW. But again, as we know with Jazz, it's not something that bothers her. In fact, she's gone on record and said the biggest privilege that she has is being voted in as captain of North Melbourne Football Club. Like like she said, obviously the 24 grand final and the back-to-back is important to her, but for her to be voted in by her peers to lead this team is her biggest achievement she's ever had in football. So that's just a testament to who she is. And that's probably why she is the best at what she does, because of her humbleness and putting aside her ego in order to always make people better. And I remember one of my friends saying to her, who trained at North, and she said, Jazzy's the first one to offer more advice if you want to do craft work, if you want to have a kick afterwards. And instead of her beating you at sprints, she's always the one saying, come on, let's go, we'll do it together. Yeah. Like there's a sense of her wanting everyone to get better. The tide like lifts all boats when it comes to Jazz. And yeah, she's just incredible to watch. And I was actually really proud as well that Jenna got the 3 goals, because I think sometimes Jenna somewhat lives in a bit of a shadow with Jazz. And I think Jenna being able to celebrate 3 times and everyone really getting around her for those goals, that would have been really special for her. So yeah, I can tell you now, I loved the 24 grand final because it's the inaugural, but there's something really incredibly special about the 25 that I'll have with me for the rest of my life. So yeah.
We can only imagine what in the 2026 premiership will do as well, Claire. So, yeah, only gets. I think we spoke off air too, Claire. And if and this is how much we value her, and I'm sure the club value her. But in the 2023 grand final, if she doesn't go down the first minute of the game, we'd probably win that. We're probably talking about a 3-peat as well. So that's just how much of a skilled talent she is, and like you sort of said, maybe it gets a bit lost in the shadow of Jasmine Garner. But I think she's definitely had a great year this year as Jenna, and long may it continue. Any other thoughts before I go to questions, Jacinta?
No, I probably just want to say well done to the North fans for obviously showing up every week. I don't think I went to one game this year where the North supporters weren't outnumbering the opposition, and that is not something I'm obviously used to. And I think even hearing Baldors talking about playing in a hostile environment last night, that is also probably not something that I'm used to hearing. Like being on the right side of that, like being a part of the hostility was, it's just really nice to see the way that the North supporters have gotten around this team. I think it just shows a lot that if we are winning and we do really rate the culture and the way that and if the team embraces us back, I think it just pays dividends. So yeah, I just want to say well done to everyone for, I guess, outnumbering every team all year long. It's unreal. It's really, really, really special to be a part of.
No, it definitely is. And shout out to the crowd. They were absolutely amazing yesterday. And I think it was this year we sold out Arden Street in one game as well. So I think it might have been towards the end of the year. So success brings that, but obviously the attitude of the girls and their humbleness and a lot of things probably has brought supporters in as well. Claire, any final thoughts before I go to questions about the game?
No, I think Tisina summed up really nicely. Like, it's just, the past couple of years for me, having watched the men's and coincide with the women's, it's the whiplash for me. I think it's the absolute pride that those women have restored back in the club. Like, I feel like post-COVID and during COVID, we were on the canvas and we were just on our knees as a football club, and the amount of respect that they've brought back to us, I think, is great. I mean, people envy us now. There were periods of the AFLW season where people were going online and potting us because we're too successful. Like, if you had have told 2020 Claire in the depths of COVID that people will be sitting there and potting us, not because they pity us, but because they envy us of what we've built, then I would have called you mad. And I just think that, when you have Sonia Hood, Jen Watt, Darren Crocker, Laura Kane, who went before, and Erin Lorenzi, obviously GM of the program, like, they've restored so much pride at our football club, and I'm forever grateful for that. And I'm grateful for the fans that showed up every week and demonstrate. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cough because I had a couple of drinks and then I watched the match replay, so I'm working off about 4 hours here, to be honest.
Nice.
But classic. I kind of did a back to back. I was like, well, we won in the prelim and I was a little drunk, so let's just do it for the grand final. Very, very proud of what we've been able to achieve, and it's so nice to be a part of a crowd and a fan base that gets to watch this sort of success. I imagine this is what maybe the 90s would have been like. And I was too young to really experience that. So it feels really special to experience it now with the women's program. So may it long continue, Dean.
Oh, definitely. This is a better team than there was in the 90s. And that's not me just having recency bias. We had Carey. We based our whole game plan around him. We had some good players, good role players that played their role for the team. We had some very underrated players over that period. But as far as team and system goes, nothing beats this team. Definitely the best I've ever seen. Well said there too, Claire. So, girls, you know what time it is then?
Where's the applause?
It's coming. Internet's a bit slow at the moment. So, is it? Hang on. Is it? Come on. There we go. All right. So I'm going to start with you, Jacinta. Now, last night, who had the better disposal efficiency in the game between Libby Birch and Bella Eddy?
Oh, Birch. I think I saw.
That's your final answer?
Eddie. Yeah, I saw Eddie turn it over a couple of times. I'm going Birch.
What about you, Claire?
You were at the game, Jacinta. Yeah, fine. I will differ from you, but for the first round, I will go Birch as well.
All right. Well, you're both wrong.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, no.
Bella Eddy had a game high 90%.
Wow.
Yeah, and Libby Birch had 78.6%.
I'm
Oh,
so shocked by
wow.
that. I feel like Eddie got tackled a couple of times and just scrummaged at a handball.
Yeah, she got
Wow.
run down a couple of times holding the ball, but
Yeah.
that
Wow,
doesn't
good
count as
on
a
her.
disposal. So
Yeah.
I mean, smart. She never got rid of it. You can't
That's
get
true.
inefficiency if you never get rid of it.
True, just hang on there, get caught.
Yeah, exactly. Hold the ball in.
That's it. I think she did that too. All right, so you're 0 from 1, both of you girls. So we'll go to the
Good
next one.
start.
Who had more intercepts last night between Jasmine Ferguson and Eliza Shannon?
Nah,
Yeah.
it's got to be Jazz. It's got to be Jazz Ferguson. You would never go against a girl in a grand final.
You never know. I do like Eliza Shannon. I talked her up as
Yeah.
the next Glen Archer. So you've gone.
That's true. Yeah, but
Okay.
I'm still backing in Jazz.
All right. What about you, Jacinta?
I feel the same. I don't think you would ever set up Fergs, but by the eye test, I think it might have been Shannon.
Okay, so you're going Shannon. Claire is going.
Fergalicious definition make them boys go loco.
So that was the answer. Yeah, I
I
thought
was going to say, I would never, Dean would never go against his girl in the grand final. Absolutely not.
Nah,
Outrageous.
it's like almost having an affair on someone. So yeah, as much as I love Eliza Shannon, Ferg's the girl.
Fergie wins.
So Claire, you're in front. So
I'm
let's
on the
go to the
board.
third one. Who had more contested possessions last night between Eilish Sheeran and Ash Riddell? We'll start with you, Jacinta.
Oh, geez. That's really, really hard. I mean, Riddell had 38. Surely she would have had a few more, but I think, I don't know. I just picture Sheeran bursting out of the pack so often. I'll go Riddell. I'll just go Riddell. I'm on 0 anyway. Let's go Riddell.
What about you, Claire?
No, I think Riddell got a ball out wide sometimes, and I'd go. Yeah, I'm gonna go Sheeran. I think she was contested ball.
Okay, all right. So you'll lock that in, Jacinta. You're off the mark.
Oh,
Riddell.
thank goodness.
Right,
wow.
Riddell 19, Sheeran 18.
Oh wow! I was leaving the chat actually. If I was going to go 0,
That's fair.
Internet cut out. So
yeah,
one of those ones. All right, Claire, we're going to start with you here. Who had more scoring involvements last night between Jenna Bruton and Tess Craven?
Score involvements. Okay, just to clarify, does score involvements mean also her kicking it, or is she just got to be a part of the chain?
Part of the chain.
Okay. I mean, she was on the end of a lot, but then also, I mean, like surely Bruton. This feels like a reverse question, but then Tess had some really good kicks and she did some really good handballs. Oh, this is such a setup question. Weirdly, I'm going to go Tess. I'm just going to Tess.
All right, you're locked in Tess Craven. Jacinta, are you going to go against your girl, or are you going to go with her?
I also think it could be Tess, but I don't want to go against Jenna, especially after that BOG performance. I'm going to go Jenna.
All right, Claire, you've hit the front. Tess Craven 4, Jenna Bruton 3. So, very nice.
That's a good start by you. Yeah.
All right, we've got a couple more to go here, so a bit of work to be done by Jacinta. Now, who took more marks last night between Emma King and Talia Randall? I think your turn to go, is it, Claire?
No, it's mine. It's mine.
Oh, is it Jacinta?
Oh, yeah. My bad.
Jacinta,
sorry, Jacinta. You take it.
Yeah, my bad.
It doesn't. Don't worry. It doesn't make it any easier if I go first or not. So, I think it might have been. Oh, actually, it's actually really hard. I don't think either of them took that many marks. To be honest with you. Did Randall even take? Oh no, I'm going to go Randall. I'll go Randall.
All right. What about you, Claire?
Yeah, I think Randall too. I think she had more time on ground. I remember her obviously kicking the goal, but I also remember her taking some really decent contested marks in the middle or the high half forward. And I think King took that really good mark, that clunk to get it. to Eddie, but I can't remember her taking a lot of marks. Yeah, so I'm gonna go Randall too.
Okay, well, you're both wrong this time. Emma King took 3 marks.
Wow.
Oh,
Talia Randall only took 2. She took that big contested mark, so I think that threw you off, both girls.
Yeah,
But Emma King
yeah.
took a couple and a half back
Yeah.
flank in the last quarter.
Right,
so
right.
after that big clunk in the first.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so all right, all to play for on this last one. So who had more inside 50 entries last night between your girl Claire, Elise O'Loughlin, and Kate Shearlaw?
Yeah.
So you go first, Claire.
Well, yeah, pretty difficult against my girl. I know Kate obviously went back as well sometimes to fill a gap in that forward, so it would kind of make sense that. All right, sorry, Dad. My dad just interrupted. Came in. He was like, "What are you guys talking about?" But no. I was like, "Dad, I'm doing a podcast. Leave me alone." To be fair to him, he has been so funny. He's been sending me Instagram reels and TikToks of North content, and I've been sitting at the same table as him. And I'm like, "Dad, we can."
One of those ones. Can't just pass the phone over. He has to send them to you.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, but have you seen this yet?" I was like, "Dad, we could just like sit and talk about it or watch the highlights together." He's like, "No. I want to watch it all by myself, and then we can talk about it again." I was like, "Okay, that's all good." But no, I'll go my girl. I'll go my girl Alice, and I'll lock her in, and I'll back her in, just thinking that Sheila dropped back a bit sometimes, and maybe didn't have the same amount of forward 50 entries because of that. So let's lock in Alice.
Okay, you've gone Elise O'Loughlin. What about you, Jacinta? Which way are you leaning?
I reckon O'Loughlin had a few in that first quarter, but if I go the same as Claire, then I definitely cannot even tie it. So I'll go Sheila.
All right, so you've locked in Sheila. Well, Jacinta, you're right this time.
Oh.
Sheila with 3
right.
inside 50 entries and Elise O'Loughlin with 2. And that'll do us. It's a draw. It's ended up in a tie. I don't have any.
Nice finish.
Decided...
Nice finish.
Yeah, finish a 2-all draw like a soccer game.
Yeah, I'll take that. It's not nice to share the
an away result for you, Claire. Yeah. Get out of that bottom 3 relegation zone. So.
Exactly. I love that.
There we go. We can hold the cup.
Season.
Yeah, we can handle these.
You know, it's like in Ghana. I like it. It's when that tradition of like keeping the cup, whoever lets go of it first loses. Did you see that?
Yes.
Ghana, like she made her. Yeah, I was like, amazing. Well done.
She won. She definitely won.
Oh,
yeah, definitely.
She definitely won, and then we won the cup, and that's exactly why we're back to back premiers.
Exactly
That's
right.
it. Good hands from her as usual.
Yeah, what else is new? So nothing changes. Even off the field, she's still the GOAT. So yeah. Well, girls, this season has been a journey. It's been a lot of fun. It's always fun, pleasure doing these pods with you girls. Thanks so much for coming on. We've already talked about catching up in person for a bit. We're going up your way, Claire, by the way, just to let you know.
Yes.
She's very quiet there. Thanks for coming on this season, Jacinta. I appreciate all your efforts, and go Roos.
Yeah, thanks for all your work as usual, Dean, pumping up the girls. I hope that Fergie and those Black Eyed Peas don't come for you after tonight. But yeah, as usual, thanks, Dean, and congrats on a big year from you as well.
No, I appreciate your nice words there, Jacinta. Claire, my life wouldn't be the same without you. You and Fergs. It's been a pleasure, Claire, and can't wait to catch up soon.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. I'll come to Melbourne. I'll come to you guys.
Oh, we'll work something out. Is Claire gone? Claire has left us. So, but more importantly, thank you to all you listeners. More importantly as well, we've been on a journey together. I'll be back later this week. Talk about the men's again. I've got to calm down a little bit from the highs. I'll try and get some girls on the next few months as well and chat about their premiership success. But that's it from me. Bye for now, and go Roos.